Hi friends, welcome back to your practice. I am Katie Arnold and today is our yoga for anxiety. This class is the perfect class to turn to when your emotions, when your anxiety, when your energy is way up here, when you can't stop the monkey mind and you need to start to bring things back down to a base level, to the ground level. This practice is slow. It is restorative. We are going to use props. And because we want to help get the body out of a fight or flight state, when we're in those times of really high anxiety, I don't believe that those are necessarily the times that we want to turn to our more fiery practices. We want to find some stillness. We want to help the body actually relax. So in terms of props for today's class, I am suggesting a block. If you don't have a block, find something that can work as a block. You will use it in a supported downward facing dog. Also a bolster. Now, if you don't have a bolster at home, that's okay. You can grab blankets and roll them up into a burrito roll. You could grab some larger pillows, whether that be from your bed or a couch cushion. Those can work really great too. Or if you have multiple blocks, you could grab 2 blocks, put them together and put a blanket on top of it. That creates a really nice makeshift bolster. So go ahead, grab your props, roll out your mat. And before I meet you there, just a quick reminder, if you're not already subscribed to my channel, please do so. Like this video, leave a comment below. Your interaction helps more people find these classes, helps more people find the yoga practices that help us reduce our stress, overwhelm, and anxiety, and come back to a peaceful, calm, and serene place. So I will meet you on your mat. Let's get to this practice. All right, so our first pose is going to be a supported child's pose. If you have that bolster or your own homemade version of a bolster, it's going to be long on your mat. The long edges of the bolster are parallel with the long edges of your mat. And you're going to pull it in kind of close. So because my bolster is nice and long, my knees are coming to the outside of that bolster, and we're just going to fold forward into a supported child's pose. So I like to wrap my arms around the top of the bolster, bringing one ear down onto the mat, or onto the bolster, excuse me. It doesn't matter which ear is down. I'll alert you at a moment to switch to the other ear. So just let yourself soften. Let those hips hang down heavy. I want to invite you to take a few cleansing breaths. So exhaling out of an open mouth. Let it soften and take you a little bit deeper. And go ahead and bring the other ear to the mat. Soften the body back down. Start to lift yourself up off of your prop. Move it out of the way. And then come back down, but this time take that right hand, slide it underneath the left. So we have a thread the needle variation. That left arm is still reaching forward. We carry a lot of stress and tension in our upper back and shoulders. And so seeing here if we can allow some of that to melt away. Gently pressing yourself up, bringing that right hand back, and then sliding that left arm under. So taking that thread the needle on the other side. And maybe you notice if one side is a little different than the other. That's okay. And first coming back through to center and pressing yourself up. Now we'll go ahead and grab that block. We're coming into a supported downward facing dog. So if you haven't done this before, this is the most work that we will do this entire class. But we're going to see if we can find the support. So bringing that block on the highest setting, bringing the hands in front of and on the outside of the block, curl those toes under, find your way to downward facing dog. And then I kind of have to walk my hands out a little bit more to find my variation. And you're going to bring the forehead or kind of like that spot, that hairline down onto the block. And then I like to really bring a nice bend to my knees. And we'll only be here for about a minute or so. But see if while we're here, you can find a little bit of support. Start to soften the knees down to the mat. We're coming into just a nice, easy seat. It is your choice if you want to elevate the hips at all. If you do, you can always just slide that block underneath the sit bones, coming back to just a nice grounded position, roots down, crown high. Next, we're going to get into alternate nostril breathing, and quite literally, we are going to breathe from one nostril into the next. So we will alternate which nostril we're breathing through. If you haven't done alternate nostril breathing before, you're going to take your right hand and with your right thumb, just put it right on the bridge, right below the bridge of the right nostril. And then the ring finger is going to go on the left. The pointer and middle finger, you can either kind of let them float or place them on that third eye, that space between the eyebrow. You're going to block off the right nostril and breathe in exclusively through the left. So inhaling through the left. Now block off the left with that ring and pinky finger and exhale out the right. Inhale through the right. Block off the right, open the left, exhale out the left. Inhale through the left. Close it off, open the right, exhale. Inhale right. Block it off, exhale left. Continue a few more rounds like that with your pace of your breath. Take one more round, finishing with exhaling out of the left. When you've completed your final round, just bring your hands down to your knees. Gently breathing through the nose. If you are sitting atop a block or anything, go ahead and move that out from underneath you. Grabbing your bolster, we're going to find a seated forward fold. So extending both legs out in front of you, placing that bolster on your legs. And now, depending on your level of flexibility, you can build up this bolster to varying heights using your props. So if you have a bolster, I like to just put my bolster at an angle and allow my forehead to rest down on that bolster. If you're also working with blocks, you have varying heights that you could set that block on your legs. You could build yourself a tower with multiple blocks. You could use pillows, but just find your variation of a seated forward fold that works for you here. First, releasing that prop, sitting yourself back up. Move that prop off to the side, and I'm going to lower onto our backs, planting both feet, slowly lowering down and coming into a supported bridge pose. So planting those feet, knees up towards the ceiling, press into those feet, lift those hips, and slide your bolster, or if you're just working with blocks, that's fine here too. Slide those blocks or one of those blocks underneath the hips. Arms are down by your side, just taking all of the work out of this bridge pose. Notice if there's anywhere that you're holding on to or clinging. And asking yourself if there's a way to soften, to release any of the tension in the jaw, to soften the forehead. How can you find more ease within this posture? And without really changing too much, start to bring those knees into your chest. We're going to send them straight up towards the sky, coming into a legs up variation. So if you have a wall nearby, you are more than welcome to actually send your legs up the wall. Otherwise, allow yourself to be in this variation of legs up. Having something underneath your hips helps take a lot of the work out of the pose. The toes flex back towards your face. Maybe bringing a slight bend or maybe a bigger bend to those knees, depending on how the legs are feeling today. Really just allowing anything that you're holding on to that's no longer serving you to float down the legs onto your mat and away from you, away from your body, away from this moment in time. Like the current of a river taking anything away with it. Your mind is that current. Your anxiety is that current. Trying to take your energy, take your focus, take the things that aren't serving you. We're choosing to instead allow our mind to be the current, taking ourselves out of this situation, pulling us to a place that is going to be better, that's going to serve us better, care for us better, support us better. First, bring those knees back in towards the chest. Release the feet down to the mat. Lift the hips up and either slide that bolster out completely or just slide it down your mat. So as you extend your legs, that bolster is resting right underneath the knees. Letting the palms face up towards the ceiling. Feet turn out. Just fully allowing ease to return to the body, to the mind. Welcoming in this place of quiet stillness where you are safe and protected. Take a big breath into the nose. A big sigh out of an open mouth. Reawaken the body, wiggle of the fingers and toes. Taking a big good morning stretch. And rolling over onto your favorite side, finding a fetal position. When you're ready, pressing yourself up to an easy seat. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope any anxiety that you were feeling prior to this class has lessened to a more manageable level and maybe allowed you to just find that place of peace once again. Hands to heart center. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace.